really the same story that I was saying last night. Felt like that might have been the most physical game that we've played so far this year from our perspective. I thought our guys came out and they played hard. You could certainly hear it and feel it on the sideline throughout that game. I think it was evident there in the ground game statistics. I know our run game on offense was pretty successful, over 5 yards a carry, and then defensively, I think it was 2.6 yards per carry. So that was really good to see. And then I think the thing I'm most proud about was not only did we get off to a good start in terms of the 20-0 lead, but we weathered the storm in between because it wasn't our best middle eight of the game, if you want to call it that. So you go from 20-0 to all of a sudden you're looking up after halftime and it's 20-14, and I just think back to that first week of the season against Minnesota and how we didn't handle that very well. And you fast forward a few weeks later here, and I just thought as a team we responded a lot better to not make it a game there necessarily in the final minutes of the fourth quarter to close it out before that. So it was good to see that. Proud of the guys, proud of how they played, and with that I'll go ahead and open it up.
And given the dynamics of last week, coming off a emotional big stage win on Monday night, what did you see from your group's ability to kind of reset physically, mentally, emotionally throughout the week that helped?
Yeah, I think just the acknowledgement that we had come from a Monday night game to week one of the season, and then going into week two, we didn't play very well as a football team. And so you accept that challenge as both a coach and as a player. And I think our guys were really set on doing a better job this go around. And so they did that. They did a great job getting their bodies as prepared as they could. And then, with the game plan, I think on both sides of the ball, we were still fairly aggressive with the volume that we put in. And so it's a credit to them to get that down in a shorter period of time.
Coach Beal said that. Why do you think it was the most physical game? Was there one hit that kind of sparked that, or something that happened during the game?
I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. I just think we're slowly growing closer to what that vision is and what we want to be about. We talk about it all the time, but it slowly is starting to take shape. And I think our defense, I think the fundamentals stood out more to me. Striking blocks, we had better tackling in the open field yesterday than what we had the previous few games, and so we're making tremendous strides there. And then I think our little guys and I say little guy, I'm talking about our DBs. They're hitting violently. You could feel them pressuring a little bit. We had a few more safety and nickel pressures this past week than maybe what we had done previously, and you could feel that and just how they were hitting, whether it's running backs or even the quarterback. And so that showed up. And then when you have the runners on offense playing with their pads low and running through the hole like they were, I think it sparks everyone else.
Theo said he didn't think he played winning football yesterday after you watched the tape.
Who's that?
Theo.
Yeah.
He said he didn't think he played winning football yesterday after you watched the tape. How'd you assess his game yesterday?
It's inconsistent, to say the least. He had a couple false starts mixed in there. Run game wise, he did some good things in terms of moving guys, but probably wasn't as clean as it could be. And then in pass pro, I think Chase Young got after him just a little bit more than he'd like as well.
Does he have a longer leash? Like earlier in the process, you were very clear that it was ongoing evaluations that could change week to week. You mentioned that it could go into the bye week. Now that we're a little bit past that, does he have more solid footing than any of the guys had before, or is he still on that equally short leash?
Well, we need all of our guys to perform at a high level for us to move the ball, score points on offense, win games as a team. And so the evaluation process always goes on. If there's someone that's not pulling his weight, then we got to make a decision there. But no, I think he's going to continue to get better with the more reps that he gets. And that wasn't a slouch that he was going against yesterday on most of those snaps, and I think he's going to continue to get better.
Ben, it seemed like that Caleb had put the risky scrambling behind him. Was this regression on his part, and what was your message to him?
Well, we just went over those a little while ago, and I feel like there's a few of those that we could have back and maybe make a little bit different decision than what we did in the moment's notice. And so that's part of what makes him special as a player. And so you don't want to neuter him. You don't. That's a dangerous road to go down, because he's got this natural ability to feel the pocket and know when to escape and extend. And I think more than anything for us, it's just making sure we're on the same page of the time and the place, the situation for where that Superman cape comes out, and at other times whether it's we're running with our legs a little bit more or throwing the ball away where that needs to come into play.
You mentioned last week that he was a little surprised that he was missing guys when he's getting out on the run. That throw to Rome before halftime, is that an example of that, or is that something, do you put that more on the receiver should have hauled that in?
There were a few of them to Rome, I believe, before halftime, of that scramble mentality, and I think Rome could have caught one or two of them himself, and I think there was another one that Caleb could have had better ball placement.
You the drive near the end of the half where you guys went 3 and out. What kind of disappointed you most when you reviewed the film about why that happened?
Yeah, I didn't think I did a good job calling plays in that sequence. I'm very aware of not wanting to give the ball back to the opponent with enough time for a rebuttal drive. I don't think I did the defense any favors with those play calls, and they had a better coverage than some of those pass plays a couple of times as well. So I can do a better job with those play calls, and then the message for our offense has always been, it doesn't matter if it's that 2-minute situation or we're just in a normal game mode, is once we get the first down, we're normally in a pretty good spot. But that was one right there. I feel like if we would have just found a way to get that first down, we would have had a little momentum to get that thing going and get some points.
And you guys are getting takeaways at a pretty remarkable rate here. Just in theory, do you believe that takeaways, carry over from one week to the next? I know there are some people that think that there's an element of, I don't want to say luck, but maybe hard work and good fortune kind of coming together. Can you rely on this to keep going this way or not?
I think our defense is doing a phenomenal job knowing where that ball is, and I think when you make it a point of emphasis, normally good things happen, and so they're doing a great job with it. If there's a point where we're not getting as many takeaways, I know another phase of our defense or our offense or our special teams will find a way to come through for us.
Pushing play where you guys had the full force across the goal line. One, what was the explanation they gave you on why that play was blown dead? And two, what did you think that signified?
Yeah, I never got an explanation on that, but they called it dead on the one, and so I just assumed they thought the forward progression had stopped. But to me, I love that. I want to see that on every single run play. The more population we can have to the football, the better off we're going to be. I love to see our perimeter players getting involved, getting scrappy, blocking their safeties, blocking their corners. I love to see our linemen finishing around our running back and protecting him and pushing him forward like that. So we need more of that.
Ben, what have you found is your teaching method when it feels like guys are doing exactly what you've instructed them to do and the refs still call a penalty? Do you go back at halftime and say we need to adjust how we're playing this because they're viewing this as a penalty, or do you say keep playing it that way?
Yeah, generally speaking, I don't put too much stock in how the game's officiated. There's things beyond our control. We're going to coach it up as well as we possibly can, and then over the course of those 60 minutes, we just stay consistent. Some calls are going to come our way, some aren't, and we'll keep it moving. If I feel like there's something that we don't have clarity on, then I'll just stay away from some of those play calls that might give us a bad spot or something like that. But there are some things over the course of the first 6 weeks that we need a little clarity on from the league in terms of how we can coach it better, and that's what we send in. But other than that, we don't talk a whole lot during the game about it.
Rome has said a couple times, like from his rookie season, he wasn't thrilled with the numbers that he was putting up, and I know he had such a hot start this year. How do you, temper or make sure he doesn't get frustrated after, a slower last 2 weeks?
To me, the message for everybody is we just got to go back to work. I think as an offense, it comes in waves. Some guys are going to get hot, and some guys are going to step out of the spotlight for a little bit. I think that's the nature of having so many good players. Rome certainly being a part of that, and so there'll be a time where this thing comes around again, and he gets hot all of a sudden, and he'll end up having 10 targets in a game and 8 or 9 catches and a couple touchdowns, and we'll be feeling good about life. But when you're a perimeter player, I do think it's hard to necessarily dictate the number of times that the ball comes your way, you know. So I think he does a great job along with DJ and Luther and OZ, all those guys. I mean, they want to go out there and compete for their teammates. I think they're doing a better job of blocking for their buddies down the field as the play unfolds. There are a number of really good clips of that yesterday. And it certainly helps when we're having success as a team because, you know, you put any of that personal goals to the side. I think all those guys, they want the team to win first and foremost, and so the personal success that'll come.
Coach, what's priority number?
Baltimore, how does it impact you guys, not knowing whether Lamar will be playing, and if he does play, what version of himself he might be?
Truth be told, I haven't even looked far enough ahead into Baltimore yet. It's still closing the page here on New Orleans. We'll start diving into some of that film here tonight. But I haven't talked to the defensive staff anything about their quarterback. We should have a better answer for that on Wednesday.
With your running games, the split that you ended up having between Swift and Anungai, how close is that to ideal for you?
In terms of carries or in terms of reps?
In terms of carries and in terms of the different styles that they brought.
Yeah, I mean, some weeks we'll run at that volume. Other weeks we might not feature the run game quite as much. That kind of fluctuates a little bit. So, I think we feel really good about both of those players, and so I don't. It's not like I call the game any different when one guy's in over the other. I think they both were pretty hot yesterday, and so I think EB did a nice job keeping them fresh and keeping them going. So week to week, it's hard to really predicate exactly what you're going to get until you get into a game.
What's priority number one in terms of things you want to get cleaned up offensively? Is it ball handling? Is it pre-snap? I mean, pre-snap helped you out a little on the goal line yesterday, but is it ball handling? Is it pre-snap? What's priority number one in terms of what you want to clean up?
All the above. We got to get it all cleaned up. That's good teams don't have so many self-inflicted wounds.
And in
Then
connection with
Caleb's completion percentage is going in the other direction from the goals you had in the preseason. Is there more you can do to help him, or is this something he needs to figure out himself?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's trying to be better in the passing game. So our route runners got to get open, our pass protectors got to protect, the play callers got to call good plays, and the quarterback's got to throw completions. So that's what it comes down to.
Sorry, Ben, you had Tyreek and Cole leave yesterday. Do you have long-term concerns about them?
We'll find out more on Wednesday for sure, but we're thinking more day-to-day, week-to-week right now.
And Austin Booker was full every practice since he's been activated. Is there like some sort of setback or something as to why he hasn't been activated yet?
No, I think more than anything, we felt really good about the guys that we've had up. I think he's progressing along nicely, and I think he's going to be able to help us.
you mentioned Herb's question, the center exchange cadence issues. What was your diagnosis of what's going wrong there, particularly yesterday?
Yeah, we're not going to point the finger at any one player. I think it was a multitude of issues right there. And so we're on a united mission this week to get that fixed.